Hey, what's up, Boxers? How y'all doing? We locked in, King Wolf. That's what's up. See you September 7th. We lit. That's what's up. What's up? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. What up, cuz? How you doing? What's up, the official TT? How you doing? How you doing? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me, cuz? You can hear me? Okay, that's what's up. All right, y'all know how I do my lives. I don't have like a guide or anything like that or spill. I'm waiting on y'all to drop some questions. What's up, NY Finest? That's my Amazon relay guy that does the semis. I know I went live with him last week. A lot of you guys have inboxed me how to find him. The guy that does the semis with Amazon relay. That's his name right there, NY Finest 345. So you're interested in Amazon relay with semis, that's the man you need to go tag. That's the man you need to go get in with, plug in with, that knows how to do Amazon with semis. He been doing it, like I said, 2 or 3 years before I even started doing it. Someone said, I got my 5K. I might be ready. Okay, that's what's up, Cook Time. Holler at me. You know, I got different services that I offer to get you up and running. I got an ebook. I got Masterclasses. I got a VIP one-on-one Masterclass. So you just let me know. That's what's up, bro. Someone said, what type of straps do you need? I see so many options. Just the E-straps that goes in the back of the box truck. You'll see like the box trucks have like the rails in the back of your truck. If you're renting them, you can get them from the rental place. You can get them from Lowe's, Home Depots. But it's just the little ones that goes on the rails. I think they call them E-tracks. All right. Someone says, what percentage do you pay to be under someone's authority? It depends. If you're doing the masterclass, my people charge 10% to run under their authority. So if you make, let's just say $4,500, then they'll charge you $450. You keep the rest. You make $5,000, they charge you $500. So it's 10%, but it's up to you and what you negotiate. If you're talking about somebody that's outside of my masterclass, I've seen people charge 15% to run on your authority. I've seen people charge 20%. So it's kind of up to you. But if you're talking about my masterclass, then it's 10%. Someone said, what's the minimum insurance requirements for box truck? The minimum requirement is basically you're going to need everything that you need to get a logistics company, $100,000, but you're going to need $1 million policy if you're talking about Amazon, $1 million policy. Someone says the one-on-one or one-day setup. Yes, so the one-on-one VIP masterclass is a one-day setup. Is a lot shorter than the actual group masterclass. It's usually from 12 to 3 p.m. You pick the date. We go over pretty much basically the same thing that's in the masterclass, just that the group masterclass is a lot longer because you have a lot more people in the class asking questions. But the one-on-one masterclass also allows you to lease on. The one-on-one masterclass also comes with my ebook guide. It comes with the same information. We pull up the load board. We pull up the DAT load board. Pretty much the same information, just shorter, and it caters to you because a lot of people, they don't have 7 or 8 hours to dedicate. You might be doing something on the day that we do the group masterclass. So like I said, it's a one-on-one, more personable feeling. Let's see. Yep. So, and that's $1,150. And you go to the website or go to boxtruckshorty.com or click the link on my bio and actually schedule that date. So I usually do them on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Me and my business partner will conduct that one-on-one class. And I'm debating if I want to keep it going because I know my masterclass, group masterclass is coming up. I don't know if I'm going to do it for the next week or two, and then I might cut it off 2 weeks prior to the group class because there's no need to keep doing it. And then I'll have the big masterclass. So I'm debating if I want to cut it off. So if you're interested in getting that masterclass, the one-on-one VIP masterclass, definitely don't stall on that. Let's see. Someone said, ready to go? Come on, let's go. Someone said, what about a pallet jack? When you get a pallet jack, you just need a regular pallet jack. It don't need to be nothing fancy, nothing like no electric pallet jack, nothing like crazy. Just a regular basic pallet jack will do. So you don't need nothing special. Someone says, how do you handle maintenance issues? That's a good question. When you're renting a truck, there is no maintenance issues because you don't pay for maintenance out of your pocket. The maintenance is built into the price that you're already paying to rent. So I don't have maintenance problems. When I do have a truck and I do have an issue, let's just say, for example, you're renting a truck and you do run into a problem or whatever, usually per your contract, within 24 to 48 hours, they will, if the truck break down and they can't fix it, they'll send a mechanic. Say the mechanic could come here, try to actually fix it on the side of the road. That has happened a lot of times because usually it's something kind of not too major because they keep up with their trucks, the big rental companies. So they usually fix it on the side of the road. If they can't fix it, then they'll tow the truck, and then they, within 24 to 48 hours, they'll find you another truck. If that's what you're talking about. And then if you're talking about maintenance, as far as like you're driving the truck and you only have one truck, usually every 3 or 4 months they'll call you in for this thing called a PM, or preventive maintenance. They'll say, hey, Jabbar, we need to get the truck in. What day you want to come in? I usually schedule it early in the morning because the PM usually takes about 8 to 9 hours. So what I'll do is I'll schedule it. My driver go do his load. He'll come back in the morning. He'll drop the truck off at either Enterprise, Ryder, and then I'll Uber him, home. He'll drop the truck off. Then usually later that day, 7, 8 o'clock that day, they'll be like, hey, the truck is ready. And then before I book my loads that night, because I made this mistake before, they tell me the truck is ready. I end up booking a load. Guess what? My driver get there, something still ain't ready or right with the truck, and now I got to move my, schedule around. So what I do is I Uber my driver back to the truck, and he picks up the truck. Once he picks up the truck, then that's when I'll book him a load. I don't book the load until that truck is actually back physically in my driver's hands. So that's how I handle maintenance. What's up, Lenny Max? How you doing? Someone else said I bought the Stellar back. Hopefully that'll work. Oh yeah, that's most definitely. What's up, Alls National? How you doing? Someone said, damn, if that's the case, can I switch my date to a sooner date? A sooner date, I don't know when your date is. If you already got a date booked, King Wolf, then you good to go. So if you already booked the masterclass, then you good to go. But if you want to switch it to a sooner date, you most definitely can do that. Someone said, in your ebook, does it list all the equipment you need? Yes, in my ebooks. So I get this question a lot to this DM. In my ebooks is basically everything that you need to get up and running, set up, started. Let's say you're a completely brand new person. You don't know nothing about logistics. It'll help you get your LLC set up. Let's say, for example, everybody don't know how to do an LLC. You click on the button. It's a hyperlink PDF file. So you click on the button, it'll go to somebody. They'll be able to help you with your LLC to get it for them. Next, if you want your authority, you click on that person. It'll actually take you to that person. That person will be able to contact you, set up your authority. The people that do my authority charges $680. That's for your MC number, DOT number, BOC3, UCR. They'll be able to complete all of that for you for $680, same price I paid for mine. So if you need a referral for that, that's in the ebook. Then if you need gas card, that person's in there. You need an ELD, that's in there. Factoring, that person's in there. Everything you need is in there to get up and running. So that's pretty much what's in my ebook. All the equipment that's needed, how to hire drivers, how to find drivers, how to read the load board. Is actually have a job description. So when you get to that point that you do want to hire drivers, all you literally have to do is copy, paste my job description in there, post it online, and I guarantee you'll have you 30 or 40 applicants in a couple days. What else does it have? It has the DAT load board. So if you're interested in doing Amazon Relay and you want to know how to dispatch yourself back with the DAT load board, my Ultimate Bundle Pack guide has all 3 of my guides. My first guide, the Step 2 guide, which is Mastering Amazon Relay, show you the ins and out, what times to be there, what's a back leg, all of this information. And then it also have the DAT load board information in there. All 3 of the guides, that's $199. Only thing about it is, and it also comes with the insurance hack. Excuse me. If you can't afford to pay, $1,300 to $1,500 a month, how to get the actual trucks insurance for a lower price. So it comes with that. Now, the only difference is when you buy that, you got to remember that if you're trying to do Amazon Relay, you still have a 180-day wait period, right? So you get my ebook, $199, that's cool. But now what are you going to do for the next 180 days? If you're doing the DAT load board, if you're planning to go DAT load board, I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard to get loads in the first 90 days of your authority. Not impossible, but it's a little challenging to get loads. I do have a couple of dispatchers that I work with that can work with new carriers. However, in that 180 days or first 90 days, like I said, it's kind of hard to find loads. So with that being said, that's why most people either join my masterclass or now doing my VIP one-on-one masterclass, because my masterclass comes with the ebook. However, it comes with me explaining everything. It comes with a question and answer. Like, we don't leave out of the masterclass till all your questions are answered. And it also comes with leasing on options for the first 180 days. So while your authority is aging in the background, in 180 days, you get to lease on. My lease on partners charge 10% to run under their authority. You book all your own loads. You book 2 loads if you want to. You can book no loads if you want to. Basically, you running your whole entire ship, but you just leased on to somebody else for the first 180 days. When 180 days is up, all you do is apply to Amazon Relay, and it's a smooth transition. You get your own account. I've been doing it for 14 months now. Help hundreds of people come through the masterclass. Hundreds of people do get up and running, and when they get out of it, they have a smooth transition. So that's the difference between the masterclass and just buying the ebook. If you previously already purchased my ebook, because I've been selling my ebook for a long time. If you previously purchased my ebook and you want to join the masterclass, it's $750 to join the group masterclass, right? So the group masterclass, if you're interested, you already bought the ebook, you send me a DM, say, hey, Jabbar, I want to get in the masterclass, and it's $750. I'll send you an invoice for $750, or we could break that $750 up into 2 payments. Or if you're watching this, because I usually post my lives on YouTube, you can send me an email at info at boxtruckshorty, all one words, .com. Then you can send me saying, hey, I bought my guide. This is my order number. Can you send me an invoice for the whole $750, or can you split the $750 up? We'll send it to you. We'll get you in that class. And if you join in the group masterclass, you can pay $499 down, and that will actually hold your slot. And then you can pay the remainder $499 prior to class. So if you haven't bought my guides, then it's $999. And of course, the VIP 101 masterclass is $1150. It's normally $1250, but it's still on sale for $1150 right now. All right. So it says, should it be better for 3 people to start on the one LLC from the ground up, or everyone get their own truck? To be honest with you, if I was doing it, I would get my own truck. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to share. I would 3 people sharing one truck, or 3 people trying to run one truck. I've seen it become nightmares. So it's not that expensive to start your own. But like I always tell people, if the money's the issue and you have to get in on one truck, then hey, I would rather go 3 people in on one truck to get started and then scale up, or just, break off and eventually do my own thing, because I'd rather have 33% of something than 100% of nothing. So that's my take on it. So I will partner with somebody if I have to, but if I have the funds to start my own, then I'm gonna start my own. Keith, that's how I would do it. Someone said, what do you do if you break down in the middle of a trip? You break down in the middle of a trip, all you do is request a call back from Amazon. Amazon has this thing called ROC, where literally where the drivers are using, or if you're driving the truck, all you just request a call back in Amazon. A call center will literally call you back in 5 minutes. I didn't have it happen plenty of times. The truck break down, got to get towed. There's nothing you can really do about it. It's part of logistics. They understand it. So, I mean, you'll get dinged with a late, but it ain't going to kill you. So I've had trucks break down. I have trucks that have truck issues, right? So my driver have the truck issues, and I know the truck is acting up, but I'm like, man, I don't want to get a rejection. Just get the truck to Amazon. I done had a truck get to Amazon and literally would not crank back up at the dock when the truck is actually loaded with the Amazon freight. But guess what? As soon as you call Amazon, then I had him finally get the truck started, but the truck wouldn't, I don't know if it was something with the regen, don't give me the line, but I know the truck wouldn't go that fast. It was going 20 miles an hour. So he had to drive that truck all the way to Fulton Industrial to the rider shop, and then they had to actually fix the truck. So it was hours before they could fix the truck. So we just updated Amazon, letting them know, hey, look, the truck broke down, X, Y, and Z, and they kind of understand if you keep them, up to date with what's going on. So that's how I handle, breakdowns. Same thing happens if you're in an accident. Someone said, all right. Can you use a Sprinter van to start up your insurance for your company? Yes, you can use it, but you can't actually use it for a box trip. So you can use it if you just want to aid your authority. So yes, you can. Someone said, does the ebook cover Amazon pickup and delivery information? It covers not the information. If you're talking about, I have a 2-day and a 3-day driver training class, which is, it shows you what to do when you get to Amazon. So my ebook does not cover, hey, when you get to Amazon, you got to get a badge, you got to go check in, you got to scan this, scan that, how to check in and out, how to find your stuff, how to build Gaylord. So my ebook does not cover that. However, I do have a service that do cover that. It's called the 2-day and the 3-day driver training. The 2-day training is you would fly to Atlanta. Everything I do is in Atlanta. You would fly to Atlanta, learn how to check in, get your badge, how to scan stuff, how to check back in, how to load the truck, how to put the dock to the truck. Pretty much everything you need. When my trainer leaves, then you will leave and go back to your hotel room. The 3-day is the same exact thing, but you would do with the driver. You would go with the driver over the road for the first 3 nights. So I highly recommend the 3-day if you're trying to do it, because that way you get to see what happens at the post offices. Some post office, you can drop the freight and put it in a lockbox. Some of them you can't. So it's just little things like that. And then you get to ride with my trainer and pick their brain for a couple hours. So that's the good thing about it. Someone said, is the ebook included in the one-on-one package? Yes, it is. So King Wolf, if you already booked your slot, or if you haven't, or if anybody's looking to book the one-on-one or the group masterclass, when you book it, if you send me a DM or respond back to your email that you get at info@BoxTruckShorty that, hey, look, I purchased my slot for the one-on-one masterclass or the actual group masterclass, and we'll send you the actual ebook prior to class. That way, we like to have it done that way, because when the class do start, you will be familiar exactly with what I'm going on. You won't be just seeing this information for the first time. So that way, it'll make sense. I'll tie it all up together. So it's a lot easier when you already go over it. So if you purchase it between now and then, just because usually we used to send the ebooks out after the masterclass, but now I'm sending them out early to anybody that books. Someone said, do you teach how to charge for the loads? Yes, in my ebooks, I have a pay scale that's covered in my ebook. So yes, I do teach that. And in the masterclass. The masterclass is a more in-depth class system. Like I said, it's highly successful. Go read my reviews. I just posted a review today for my masterclass. I posted one last week for my VLP masterclass and my group masterclass. I got hundreds of reviews. Just, trust me, you will really like this class. It's a great class. You're going to get a lot of good information out of this class. And I ain't just saying that because it's mine. It's just like we pride ourselves on putting together a lot of good information and stuff that we know that was missing from the industry. Like a lot of people will tell you, hey, go out, go buy a truck. If you go out and buy a truck in the beginning, is every week I'm talking to somebody in a consultation that went out, purchased a truck, they made their head hard, and the first maintenance time or the first issue that they have, they're pretty much out of business. There's 2 things you should never spend your last period. Okay, let's get that clear in anything, because you never know what's around the corner. So when you go spend your last on a truck, you're dropping 20% down on a truck, $20,000-$30,000 on a truck, and you don't have money for maintenance, you are setting yourself up for failure. That's the quickest way to fail. And when coming into logistics, that's with anything. Even if you're buying a house and you spend your last to put down on the house, and you don't have money, especially if it's an older house, and you don't have no money for maintenance, you're setting yourself up for failure. So I don't never advise nobody to invest their last into buying a truck or buying anything. So with that being said, the easiest and quickest way to get up and running is to go the rental route, just like I did. Guess what I've been doing in 3.5 years? I do not own any trucks. I rent all my trucks. I don't like maintenance. I don't like worrying about it. I don't like maintenance on my cars, so I definitely don't want to pay for maintenance on a box truck. So at the end of the day, maintenance is super expensive. That's the number one enemy of a logistics company is maintenance. Think about this. Enterprise. You got whatever the big rental companies is, right? What they do every single year. These big rental companies, Enterprise has been in business forever, right? What they do, I'm not talking about the truck side of it. I'm talking about even the truck side, but let's just say talk about personal vehicles, because they everywhere. They're at every airport. They like the largest rental company, right? What do? They go out and buy a bulk of cars, brand new, whatever year that it is, right? So in 2024, they're going to go out and buy the 2024 Maximas, Altimas, Hondas, Camrys. And what they do is they put these cars on the road, they rent them out, and guess what? Till they hit a certain amount of miles. When they hit that close to that 36,000 miles, and now that car is out of warranty, guess what? Now that car becomes a liability to Enterprise. So now they're going to have to start paying for maintenance. They're going to have to start paying for the alternator, the motor blow. They don't want that. So what do? When that car get close to that service date or the end of that warranty, guess what they do? They swap them cars out. They send them to auction, right? And let somebody else buy the car, because now, guess what? That's when the headaches are going to start for maintenance. And then guess what they do? They go buy a new batch of car, the newer year or whatever car that is. It's the same thing with big fleet companies too. They buy these trucks, they lease them out. When they get to their miles, they get rid of them and get the newer models. And then people turn around and usually buy the headaches. Classic example is luxury cars. They might come out with $100,000 car. When it come out, you might not can't afford it. The average person probably can't. So guess what? You like, man, I can't wait to get that car. That person drive that car, they lease that car, they buy that car, they drive it right up closer to the miles when it's about to get out of warranty, like especially in a Mercedes or BMW. When it gets close to 50,000, you go, oh man, they got a cheap S584 with 40,000 miles in. Because guess what? That person know that that car is about to be out of warranty, so they ditch it and get the latest model. You buy the vehicle, then guess what happens? As soon as you hit 50,000, or if you don't have an extended warranty, that's when all the headaches happen. So same exact thing with renting a truck, and same thing with buying a truck. So I do not advise you to go and buy a truck unless you buy a fairly brand new truck. And with that being said, that's a whole different story, because now you got to have a lot of money. A box truck ain't cheap. So renting is the quickest and easiest way to scale. Same thing if you buying a truck. You're not going to want to move your truck. Like, for example, I'm in Atlanta. If I want to put a truck in Houston, I'm not going to buy a truck and then send my truck that I own to Houston, or hire a driver that I've never met to drive my truck. That would be dangerous. Now, if I'm renting a truck, I will put a truck in Houston tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not my truck. The person that I'm hiring, they know it's not my truck. They don't return that truck. I call Enterprise, call Ryder. That truck, I had that truck back in my possession in 24 hours. They're going to cut a key and go pick the truck up. So scaling is a lot easier when you're renting the trucks. I've been in business 3.5 years. I've never had a driver damage any of my trucks when I had to fire them or let them go, because guess what? It's not my truck. Now, on the other hand, people that I've assisted that have purchased trucks and they're out of state. Like, for example, I had a guy, he purchased a truck. He sent the truck down to Atlanta. He had issues with the driver. Now he didn't have a tracking device on his truck. So guess what? Now he got to try to find his truck. He got to pray that this driver gives his truck back. So that's another whole nother headache when it comes to owning a truck. So I like to make money passively on top of what I'm doing, and actually renting a truck. If you get it at the right price, it's a good deal. If you're paying $1,000, $900 a week, $1,200 a week for your truck, then it's not. It's common sense. A lot of people say, hey, you can't make money with rentals. Guess what? If you buy a truck and it's too high, or the maintenance is too high, you ain't gonna make money. So this is the thing what people don't understand too. Everybody that buy a truck ain't gonna be profitable, ain't gonna be successful in logistics. Everybody that rent a truck ain't gonna be profitable, ain't gonna be successful in logistics. You have to be able to get your numbers down, know your numbers, and know how to book profitable loads. That's with anything in life. You got to know your numbers. You got to know what makes sense, what is profitable. So don't, just because you own a truck, I've seen people that own a truck go out of business. I've seen people that rent trucks go out of business. It's all about getting your cost overhead down as much as possible, okay? If that makes sense. All right, let's see. Next masterclass, September 7th. Yep, click the link in his bio or reserve your slot. Someone said he has the pay scale for his drivers in the ebook. Yep, the pay scale is in the ebook. I'm going to his role. And a lot of people, when I post that video about the pay scale and why I use a pay scale versus hourly, or why I don't pay a percentage, a lot of people are, you cheap, you know, this, and that. And the reason why is, let me explain this. Say, for example, I'm booking a load today. Let's say that load is 150 miles, right? And let's say that load pays $600 and I'm paying them 25% today. Now, that driver would make $150 to do that load, right? Now, let's just say October comes right around the corner and we get into peak Amazon Prime Day, which the loads get like peak for like 2 or 3 weeks, right? So now that same $150 load, let's just say it's paying $800, $900. Now I'm paying that driver $200 to $225 to go the same 150, 160 miles, right? Now, then when the week goes back down to 600, that driver's not going to want to do the same amount of work for 150. Nobody does. Nobody likes to do the same amount of work when they was getting paid a lot more to do the same amount. So now, after I done paid them $225, $200 for 3 weeks, now it goes back down to 600. Now I'm paying them $150. My driver's going to be like, man, why you can't give me no loads that's paying 800? And they thinking I can always pay 200, 225 for the load, not knowing that the load goes down. So now you overpaid your driver. So then guess what happens coming when peak season come in November, when the loads really go crazy. So now that same 150-mile load now is paying 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200, 13, even sometimes up to 1,500. Imagine paying your driver $300 a night to go 150 miles, right? For November and December. In January, you think your driver's going to want to go back down and make $150 a night to go 150 miles? No. Your drivers are going to leave. You're going to overpay them. That's why I don't do it. And then also, you remember your driver work for you. They don't work. They don't own your company. So I don't want to have to call a driver and say, hey, man, I got a load paying 200 tonight. That's just too much, especially when you're trying to scale. So with that being said, I give them a set rate. Now, during Christmas time, can you give them a bonus? Yeah, you can give them a bonus, but that's just too much. Another classic example, if you paying your driver hourly and people getting confused. Let's just say you have a load with Amazon. That first stop is 100, and let's say it's a 150-mile load. Let's say they got a 2-stop load. First stop is 100 miles, second stop is 150, right? So the first stop is 100 miles, the second stop is 150. Sometimes they'll let you load your truck with all of the first stop, right? So let's say my driver loads his truck with all of the freight that goes to the first stop, which is 100 miles. He don't have nothing that goes to the 150, right? The other person that's driving, he might take the 150 load. Do you think my driver's going to call me in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, man, I only had to go 100 miles? Let's say I'm paying him $20 an hour. No, my driver's going to go hit that 100 miles, come back home, and be in his bed in 3 or 4 hours. But guess what? He's not going to tell me, man, I didn't have to go to full 150. So now I paid him for 7 hours when he only was working 4 hours or 3 hours. So that's the reason why I don't do the hourly thing, if that makes sense. So I hope that clears up why I don't do that. All right, let's see. What's up, NY? So like I said, if y'all guys interested in that Amazon relay, here he is, NY Finest 345. He is the man to go to if you're looking to get into the semis with Amazon relay. Been doing it, I think, 6 years. I've been doing it 3.5. He's been doing it 6 years. Real cool brother, real successful. That's all he do is Amazon relay, and he's been making a killing doing it. So if you're interested in Amazon semis, I'm not the man. Even though you could do semis with Amazon relay, that's not my lane. I don't know how to do all of that. He's the master of that block and how you do this and how you do that, because it is different for semis and box trucks. So he's the man that you want to holler at. Like, I think one of you guys, I hope y'all on my live, I sent him to you today, told you to reach out to him. Someone said, how to leasing on work is like a drive, or it's a different process. Now, you leasing, how do you lease on working? You just lease on. So if you take my masterclass, we'll pair you with one of our business partners, and we'll cover all of that in a masterclass. But basically, you'll lease on to somebody while your authority is agent in the background. And it comes with both of my masterclasses, the VIP, one-on-one VIP masterclass, and it comes with the regular masterclass that's on September 7th. All right. Do they do background checks? No. Good question. Do Amazon Relay do background checks? Amazon Relay do not do background checks. They do not do drug testing. So if you're wanting to get up and running, they don't do background checks at all. So Amazon Relay is different from Amazon DSP. Amazon DSP, when you see the Sprinter vans that have the blue vests on, or they come into your house, neighborhood, and they're dropping our package to residential area places, that is Amazon DSP. That requires a background check. That's a little bit different. Totally different program that Amazon have. I think last time I checked, don't quote me, you used to have $40,000 in cash. They set you up with like a route with Sprinter vans and all of that, like a franchise of Amazon DSP. That is background check. Anytime you're delivering freight to somebody's physical house or personal house, they can't send somebody with a background to your house. Amazon Relay is completely different. Amazon Relay is when we picking up from a distribution center, freight on a pallet, because remember, a box truck can only fit 12 pallets, and we're either going to take that freight from another distribution center and drop it off at another distribution center, or we're going to take that freight and drop it off at a post office. So there is no background checks. So you could be a felon, you could be on parole, probation, you can get out of jail from doing 30 years. That'll help somebody for real that did 30 years in prison that getting up, started their own company. So there's no background. There's no drug test for you guys that, smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. But if you're a weed smoker and you want to start your own company, you got to worry about anybody drug testing you, that's for you. Just make sure when you're behind that wheel that you are safe and you are not impaired. Because guess what? If you get in an accident and you have been smoking weed or you have weed in your system, that's going to be another story. You could lose your whole company behind that. But when you have semis, then semis do drug testing, the alcohol and drug consortium stuff. So when you become a CDL driver, you're considered, you have to take these, you have to be enrolled in these different type of programs. It's a little bit more paperwork. Whereas the box truck is non-CDLs, no background, no drug testing. Someone said, do the drivers have to load or unload their trucks through Amazon Relay? If you're driving your truck, good question, bro. Marcus, if you're driving a box truck and you're going from a distribution center to another distribution center, then Amazon will load your truck for you. If you're picking up from a distribution center and your load is actually going to a post office, then you have to load your own truck. In Atlanta, majority of our loads are going from a distribution center to another post office, so we do have to load our own trucks. Is it possible that one or more person can be signed up under LLC authority but rent out their own truck? Yeah. So you can have as many people as you want under one LLC, and you can rent out as many trucks as you can afford to get. So, at one point when I first started, if y'all was following my journey, when I first started, I first started on Instagram. I literally, from the first week, I posted what I made weekly, up to 100,000, then up to 200, then 300, all the way up to $1 million. So what it is when I first started, I had one authority, right? So I had one authority. I got one truck. 3 weeks later, I got my second truck. Another 3 weeks later, I got my third truck. I think I kept 3 trucks for like maybe a couple months. Then eventually I scaled it to get 4 trucks. But at this time, I didn't know Amazon 100% like I know it now. So when my drivers are being late, I started getting rejection. So I started getting scared. I was like, man, I can't miss this money. So about 6, 7, 8 months into it, what I did was I started a whole nother authority, whole nother LLC. So I had 2 authorities running at the same time. So I had 4 trucks under one, and then the next time I got another truck under the 5th truck, my 6th truck, 7th, 8th truck. So I had 4 trucks on one authority and another 4 trucks on one authority. So anything happened, I would just move my trucks around from authority to authority. Then when I really realized and understand how to manage my drivers and how to avoid rejections and all of that, then I shut down my first authority. So then I just had one authority. So yes, so to answer your question, you can have 10 trucks under one LLC, one authority. You can rent as many trucks as you can get up and running. So if you want to start a business venture with your people, let's say it's 3 of y'all on one LLC, and each of y'all get a truck, and y'all responsible for your own truck, nothing wrong with that. Someone said, I'm all booked, big bro. Okay, that's what's up, King. All in. That's what's up. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Box truck shorties, Amazon Relay driver, 2-day on site, $350, and 3-day ride along, $400. Book up. So anything I have, man, can be booked in my link up top. Because a lot of people say, how do I book? I'm interested. I get that every time I post something. I'm interested. If you're interested, go to boxtruckshorty.com or click the link in my bio. So how does defining the drivers go? So we cover that in class, but it's real easy. All you gotta do is copy and paste my I guess you already booked, but I don't think you have the ebook yet. I'll get you the ebook, bro. But all you do is copy and paste my job description literally online, and literally you will find your driver. It has everything you need to find that driver. It's super easy to find a non-CDL driver for a box truck. Because anybody, if you possess a regular driver's license, your cousin can drive, you can drive it. There's no special requirements to driving a box truck. Someone said, how many miles I don't understand your question. How many miles get a truck get on it? Can you rephrase your question on why if it's on? Can a box truck, man, a box truck is just like close to a semi. So they can have a lot of miles on it. But if you're renting the truck, it don't really matter. But if you're purchasing a truck, I've seen people buy a box truck with 300,000 miles on it, 400,000 miles on it. Those trucks, Cummins motors and Allison transmission, them things can get way up there to the 100,000s. So it doesn't really matter. I ain't gonna say it doesn't matter, but they can be real high miles. They're real reliable. Well, I was gonna say the Freightliners. How much is it to rent a truck? So good question. To rent a truck, on average, I would say anything under $600 is good, but what's really real good is $500 to $550 a week base. and are anywhere lower than 15 cents a mile. If you're renting a truck and you're paying over $600 a week base and you're paying 20 cents a mile, 25 cents a mile, that's too high. Remember, like I just said, some people that own a truck is going to be out of business. Some people that rent a truck is going to go out of business. Some people that own a truck is going to be I almost went out there. Can y'all see me? I think my internet connection went out for a second. So anyway, some people that rent a truck is going to be successful. So I would say anything under $600 a week, and anything under 20 cents a mile is pretty good. But like I said, right now the average is between 500, 525, 550, and around 15 cents a mile. You don't want to go over that. Now the cheapest I've seen somebody get down to is $485. Not likely you're going to get down to $485. You're going to have to actually, build a relationship with somebody. But I've seen people get down to $485, and $500 is pretty doable as well. Yep. Someone said, how can I get a hold of you? If you want to get a hold of me, all my services can be booked by clicking the link in my bio. When we get off this, just go up to my page. I have a link in there that you can click, or you can go to boxtruckshorty.com. I also do, people that take the Masterclass, I also do 60-minute consultation. My 30-minute consultation is $99. My hour consultation is $149. So even when let's say, for example, you took the Masterclass and you still need help, I don't offer like a set mentorship package or anything like that. You just basically, if you need to speak to me, you just go ahead and book me 30 minutes. Most people, after they take the Masterclass, it depends on how long or how soon. Like I've had people that take the Masterclass maybe in March, and it's been a long time before they got up and running. If that's the case, then they might need to book 2 or 3 consultations for us to go back over information, which is cool. But if somebody just took the Masterclass, then usually they just up and running. Depends on how fast you're trying to get up and running. So I do offer my services as well. You will speak to me when you do your consultation. You don't speak to like a VA or, personal assistant or anything like that. Someone said, I'm about to purchase a $33,000. I have a CDL Class B. Is that a good buy? Ejon, good question. So for y'all that don't know, anything over 26,000 pounds, you will need a CDL to drive. He stated that he has a CDL and he's about to purchase a box truck that has the gross weight of 33,000 pounds. The only thing is I would kind of stay away. This is me personally. I would stay away from a 33,000 pound heavy duty box truck, is because I know you have a CDL, but in the event of anything happening, I don't know if you plan to drive that truck or put a driver that truck, it's going to be a lot harder to find a CDL driver to drive a box truck versus a semi. So with that being said, I would just get a 26-foot box truck. It ain't the price different, ain't going to be no difference. I would get that. That way, if anything happens, even though you have a CDL, you could drive the truck. But if you have to hire somebody or anything happens, you plan to scale, now you got a box truck. It's hard to fill that position with a CDL driver. Most CDL drivers, they're going to want to go drive a semi because it's more money. It's longer distance. So that's my personal opinion. I just wouldn't, because you can rent those trucks too from the rental companies. So that's just my 2 cents. It depends on what you're trying to do. Just remember, it's going to be a lot harder to find that CDL driver for that truck. Someone said, with this logistics game being oversaturated and the RP, I don't understand what the RP is. My answer is, I don't think the logistics industry is saturated, and let me tell you why. A lot of people, this is like I made the video last week. If you didn't watch my live last week, I posted my live on my wall, and I posted it on YouTube. This is the thing with people. Everybody want to get rich quick. Everybody want to don't do no work, want to get rich. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, during the pandemic, a lot of people jumped into trucking because trucking was very profitable, more profitable than it is now, because everybody was home. We was on a shutdown, the whole country. Couldn't go outside, you couldn't move, so everybody was ordering everything on Amazon, right? So yes, trucking went through the roof during the pandemic. However, after that, it dropped. So it didn't drop like below what it was. It dropped back to where it was prior to the pandemic. So you have to think about this. A lot of people say, oh man, the low boys ain't like it was in the pandemic. If you jumped in the game during the pandemic and you think logistics is going to be like the pandemic, then logistics ain't for you. Same thing with real estate. Nothing is the same when we was through the pandemic. A can of Lysol, no BS, man. I paid $50 for a can of Lysol during the pandemic. Well, guess what? Now you ain't gonna pay $50 for a can of Lysol. Everything was skyrocketed during the pandemic. The prices of cars, the chips were down. The dealerships was buying back older cars. Cars was going for 50 to 100,000 over sticker because of the pandemic. Lumber was going through the roof. Everything was through the roof. But guess what? The logistic, even with real estate, when you was really buying a house, everybody thought it was an all-time high. You could get 20, 30, people was paying $50,000 over the asking price. That day is dead. It's not like that no more. Now we're back to normal prices. So a lot of people think that logistics is saturated. It's not saturated. It's back to normal. And a lot of people think that logistics was born during the pandemic. Like everybody's like, oh man, it's not. Guess what? Logistics has been around since they first had trucks, man. If you go back and look, the 50s, 60s, logistics has always been here. It always will be here. It wasn't born during the pandemic. It's just that everybody jumped on something and it became a hype. Now it's back to normal. Now the people with the information who know how to run businesses are staying in business. If you don't learn the business, you don't know how to book loads, you don't know how to be profitable, you don't have the right network, you don't have the right relationships, you don't know who to pay. Like you might go call your insurance company, they might tell you it's 20, like a guy today, I don't know if he's on there, somebody wanted $2,600 a month for his insurance. That's sky high. If you get a $2,600 a month insurance, you're going to be out of business soon. If you're renting a truck, and that truck is $1,000, $1,200 a week, you're going to be out of business. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't know how to book loads, if you're booking loads off the spot load board and you're not using your poster truck, you don't know the times to book loads, you're going to be out of business. Logistics is never going nowhere. It's not oversaturated because there's many people that come into it. You got a bunch of people that's YouTube University in it. YouTube University is the first people that go out of business. When you watch YouTube and you think you're going to learn everything out of YouTube, you're going to be out of business. That's why me, NYC, Jason, and his mentee went on live last week and explained to you the importance of having a mentor. A mentor stops you from making all of the mistakes. I always tell people you're either going to pay in the beginning for the information or you're going to pay in the end for the mistake. Paying for the mistake is a lot more expensive than paying for the information in the beginning. I've never seen nothing except the lottery that you can put something in and get a lot out of. You're going to have to put it in, information. It's just like anything in life, man. If you want to be successful, you can't. Too many people just want a YouTube University. Logistics is so much more than getting an LLC. It's so much more than just getting an authority. It's so much more than getting insurance and getting a truck. If you think that's where your logistic knowledge is and that's all you need and you're going to grind it out, I guarantee you'll be out of business within 6 months. So with that being said, invest in a mentor. Even if it's not me, my cousin does mentorships. I have a mentorship program. NY Finance, Jason, all of them do different things. If you're getting into truck cargo vans, tap in with Trucker D. That's one of my truckers. Says she's the queen of cargo vans. Y'all inbox me. I don't know anything about it. That's her lane. She does other stuff too, box trucks and semis. But tap in with somebody. Lola, if you're looking for dispatcher, stop thinking that you can learn all this information on your own. I'm not saying you can't, but if you don't have deep pockets, by the time you learn all the information, you're going to be out of business. And you know what you're going to be doing? Blaming the game, blaming the industry. Oh man, trucking is dead. No, trucking ain't dead. It's just that you didn't get a mentor. Trucking ain't oversaturated. You just didn't get a mentor to show you the bumps in the roads. I got people that went through my masterclass. They came out. They're running their own company. And some of them are paired with me where now I send them people for them to be leased on to. So that's a good thing. When you grab somebody, they come through your class, they do the 6 months, they start their own company. Now they're successful. And now they partner with me where I pair people with them so they can make money even from leasing on. So a mentor is everything. Like I said, I ain't never started nothing without a mentor, from real estate to logistics to even wholesaling. Like right now, like I always tell you, I got a whole new business venture I haven't even discussed with nobody. I haven't told but a handful of people that I have a mentor. My mentor been in the game for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I would never jump into this industry that I'm about to get into without a mentor. So a mentor will save you a lot of money and a lot of headaches. So you're either going to pay for the information in the beginning or you're going to pay for the mistake. It's just like you trying to fix your own car and you mess it up and you take it to a mechanic. Guess what? Now the mechanic going to charge you double because you done messed around and messed up some stuff. So same thing with logistics. Someone will say with the logistics game being oversaturated, with the logistics loads not paying, that's good. Is it best that you rent a truck? Oh, I think I just answered that question. I'm just feeding the rest of your question. It's not saturated. You just got to know how to book loads. You got to either, especially if you're getting into the game, a lot of people don't tell you, if you first get into, like I said, if you get that LLC, get that authority, get that box truck, get the insurance, and you think you about to go tear up the load board, the DAT load board, you about to partial it together, and you ain't going to do that. It just ain't going to happen. I guarantee you'll be out of business. So with that being said, Amazon is the most consistent load board, is the best paying load board, is the load board that if you want to be home every day, Amazon Relay. Like I said, 3.5 years, I've never had a driver spend the night outside of his house. I don't pay dispatch. I don't have to pay a dispatcher 10% of my load. I don't have to pay factoring, which is 2 to 4%, and I don't have to pay for lodging. So when you take all of that off the top, if you are doing OTR work, it's the same thing. It's just that you being over the road, you sleeping in your truck, you're on an air mattress, you're a savage. You know what I'm saying? You're not washing off every day because you might, man, I ain't getting a hotel but every 4 or 5 days. Well, guess what, man? You ain't washing off every 4 or 5 days. You gotta use the bathroom. Now, where you gonna use the bathroom at? You gonna use the bathroom at a bathroom. You see what I'm saying? Like washing up in the sink, where you could be home in your bed every single night making money. You don't have to submit no paperwork, ain't no BOA, ain't none of that you got to do. It's like you can run your whole entire company from your cell phone. The simplicity of Amazon is crazy. But like I said, y'all can go do OTR if you want to. Now, the good thing is, if you're doing Amazon Relay, you can do a little OTR to get back home. So we use OTR, like the DAT load board, to get back home. We don't use it as our primary. You trying to use that's the people that's hating it. You trying to use it as your primary is going to kill you in the beginning. Like I said, when you first start, for the first 90 days, brokers ain't even going to really touch you. You're going to be making 80 cents a mile, 99 cents, $1 a mile. Go ahead. Someone said driving record. I don't understand that, your question, but I don't understand that one. What's the search time on getting a driver? Man, you can have you a driver. You post my job description, King Wolf, you literally can have your driver in 2 or 3 days. So it's that simple to get a driver. It's not hard. And in the class, we show you how to screen your driver, what's the best driver, all of them tips and tricks on how to find a good driver. So we do cover that in the class as well. Once you have your 180 days, and how long does it take to get active on Amazon Relay? Usually like a couple days, 3 or 4 days. So once you get your 180 days, let's say you start up, you lease on, you did your 180 days. Now your 180 days is up. Now all you got to do is apply to Amazon. Usually they take 3 or 4 days. My cousin, he just did it. He just got his call. His 180 days hit. He applied, and it took him like 3 days to get on. Someone said, when my cousin get out, I'm sending him your way. That's what's up. Yeah, I help a lot of people in prison, man. Like people from prison. Like I said, I help a couple cats that's literally in prison set up their company and start scaling and making money in the logistics industry because it's background friendly. I had a guy, to be honest with you, he might be on, he might not. He was doing life. He's never getting out of prison, but he had some money and he was trying to help his family, and he set up his old company. This dude, man, there's no excuse to not have no money. This dude had a rental property, a couple rental properties. He was trading from prison. Like, he was making money while he was in prison, and he started his logistics company so he could help. He was taking care of his nephew. I hope he was ever on here. I know if you ever heard my story, man, I need you to jump on my live on Wednesday. But he was doing, making money from prison. He's never getting out of prison, but he's still taking care of his family from prison. So if you free and you ain't making no money, man, and you got people that's in prison that's setting up companies, getting out, being successful, what's the excuse if you free? Ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, send your cousin to me, bro. How long does it take you to automate the business? Well, I started my business automating it. So when I started, for you guys that's just tuning in that never heard my story, I went to school, went to Clark Atlanta, graduated with a psychology degree, started working, got into the finance industry, did that for 16 years, sold cars, sold mattresses, had a t-shirt shop, had a record label, you name it, I've done it. Credit repair, everything you could possibly name up. I'm a serial entrepreneur. The definition, if you look in the dictionary, you'll see me there. So I've done it all. Got into real estate 2018. First house I flipped, made $176,000. Blew my mind. Thought I was going to leave my job. Second house, I think I made 140. Third house, I think I made 160. And then when the pandemic hit, everything shifted. My last house, I bought it in January, sold it 2 months later. The least amount I've ever made flipping a house was $99,000. And I flipped the house in 60 days. The pandemic hit. Nobody was getting evicted. Nobody was moving. Lumber went through the roof. That was my last house flipping. So I did wholesaling after that. But I thought that was going to take me out my 9 to 5, so it didn't. So then that's how I got introduced to box trucks. I was going the rental route. And from that point, I scaled, like I just stated. If you go back, you think I'm BSing, go back to scroll. It might take you some time because I post a lot. But scroll back to my Instagram page. I first started. First thing I posted was a truck from Penske. Brand new truck. I was so excited. After that, I posted literally every single week. I post my first week earnings, $2,000. We did 5 loads, I think, because I wasn't running my truck 7 days. The second week I posted, third week. So what I did was keep posting. When I started this journey and I started Box Truck Shorty, it wasn't even to sell anything. It wasn't to do anything. I was at that time just solely trying to help other people, get into logistics. So for like the first 2 or 3 months, I never even posted my face. Like nobody even knew who Box Truck Shorty was. Because it wasn't for me. It wasn't for that. But I kept getting so many inbox of people, man, help me. How you get on X, Y, and Z. So from March, I think it was, all the way up to June, I had no services to even offer people. Then in June, I just kept trying to help people. Now, mind you, I'm still working a 9 to 5. I got like 3 or 4 trucks running at this time in June. So I'm getting all this inbox. And my kid's mom said, hey, look. Because when I did real estate, I was helping like literally 10 people try to flip houses while I was flipping mine. So even though I had a mentor coming in, I'm a quick learner. I learned how to do it. Like I can flip a house with no GC. I become obsessed with something. I watched every flip or flop show. So I became super obsessed with it, just super obsessed. So I was doing the same thing with logistics. So anyway, she's like, look, you are not about to help all these people for free again and get burnt out. Because what I was doing was helping everybody in real estate, but when you helping people for free, believe it or not, people gonna waste your time. Ain't nobody gonna waste your time more than somebody that ain't got no skin in the game. They gonna hit you when they want you. You sit on the phone with them for 2 weeks and they don't do nothing with the information because it didn't cost them nothing. So if you don't have no skin in the game, you're going to waste my time. And that's what I did in every other industry that I never charged people. Because I was like, man, I don't want to charge nobody. I'm making money. But she's like, nope, you're not about to do that this time. So if you're going to do this, you need to, make people pay for your time. So that's what I started doing. I showed my face. And I just kept documenting my process to 100,000, 200,000, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to $1 million. And when I got to $1 million, I would just post like when I get to 1.5, 2 million, because I ain't got nothing else to prove no more. So I documented my whole entire process, and then that's how Box Truck Shorty grew. But I did the whole thing while I was working a 9 to 5. So I never drove a box truck to do a physical load. Like I never went to Amazon, did the load, drove the truck to the post office like me. And a lot of people, they hear me joke around and say, I don't want to drive a truck. To be honest with you, what it is I don't like driving. To be honest with you, I have PTSD because I was in a fatal car wreck when I was 19 when my best friend died. I know I posted about it back in June. You know what I'm saying? So being that I was in a fatal car wreck, like I get anxiety when somebody else is driving me. So nobody can't drive me in a car. That's why I don't like doing Uber. But with that being said, I don't like driving a big truck because it makes me uncomfortable. It makes my anxiety kicks in. And it's just too much for me. So that's another reason why I knew I was never going to drive the truck. So I started my whole company. Hiring my best friend I convinced him to leave his job to come work with me. He was my first driver. Did really well. Got my second driver, third driver, and then the story's history after that. But he worked for me from January to September, started his own company. Every time I see this man, and I ain't trying to put his business out there, but before me, he used to work 60, 70-hour weeks, always work. We was best friends from I'm talking about from middle school. It was 3 of us. One died that was in a car wreck, and he's another one. I convinced him to move to Atlanta. He's here doing really successful right now. You see, he's the one I be going to New Orleans with, Miami with. Just bought him a new Corvette. Life is doing good for him, and it feels good to be able to put your mans on. You know what I'm saying? I used to see him work like a dog, 60, 70 hours. He was always smart, but he never really went to college or whatever. And you don't got to be smart to go to college. College don't mean you're going to make a lot of money. But I'm so proud of him, and he's so proud of me because he's like, man, you put me in a position to make a ton of money, and he don't have to work like a dog no more. So that's the good thing about it. So I worked a 9 to 5 while I did it. You can work a 9 to 5. Y'all always have me talk about my cousin, Jason, Box Truck Wiz. Same exact thing. You know, he has a great career, 22 years. You see, I went to DC this year here, man. I'm so proud of him. He proud of me. We both, you know, proud of each other. I'm proud of him. Like, you know, everybody already know he's a Secret Service agent. So to be able to walk, see my man, just like, you know, it's a line. You go look at my video, it's a line like, man, a half a mile down the road, and we just walk in. He, you know, badges his way in. We get in, go watch the White House. That's my first time actually physically being in the White House. But he runs his whole company. When he's on vacation, he go to New Orleans with me too. We just travel. So you can run your whole company while working a 9 to 5. So he has his 9 to 5, a great career, but he still has money coming in from the box trucks. And he's never drove a box truck. And on top of that, his box trucks is not even in the same cities. And so he set up his whole company in 4 hours away from where he's at. So that's the beauty of it. He has a professional career, you know what I'm saying? And he's still killing the game. Been into doing it over a year now. So with that being said, you don't have to, you can still keep your 9 to 5 and still do this. You can automate it. And literally, when you get the hang of it, it should not take you more than an hour a day to run your company. When I tell people how long it take me, they think I'm lying. But when you get used to it, you'll see. It don't take a long time when you get a system. And we show you in the masterclass how to get a system in place, how to keep your drivers under control, because that's the hardest part. If you're not going to drive the truck, is managing your drivers and making sure they're not wrecking the truck, making sure they're not stealing gas, how to schedule your truck so your truck is running 7 days a week. But we cover all of this in the masterclass and more in depth. But like I said, man, went to DC, had a great time with my cousin this weekend. Guess what? Truck's still running. Same thing with my cousin. We are partying, having a good time, a family reunion. He's still making money. Had a big family reunion. But like I said, man, there's a lot of money in trucking if you learn the game. But yeah, thanks, cuz. I know you on my live, man. Thanks. You know, you see, we had a little private tour. Did the East Wing, the West Wing. Got to see the Oval Office. Like, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And my cousin, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, being able to be walked in and be respected, that's dope. So my hat goes off to you, cuz. I know you on this live. How much money and how much time should someone is brand new to the box truck expect to spend to get the company off the ground? When you first starting, it depends. If you're YouTube University, you're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of mistakes. If you come through my masterclass, like I said, it's a one-day class. I got a VIP 101 or a group masterclass. It depends on which one you want. The VIP 101, you pick the date, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's $11.50. We cover everything. After that, let's just say after you do all of that, once you get up and running, you should not spend no more than an hour a day. And an hour is like max. Now, me, I spend less than 30 minutes a day running my whole company because, as y'all saw my last live, go watch my last live last week. I have everything automated. I use poster truck. I don't go out looking for loads. I use poster truck majority of the time. 95% of the time. Only time I use a spot load board is if my poster truck don't hit. So it is super simple to get up and running. Someone said I'm getting quotes for $7.15 base and 13 cents a mile. That's too high. Anything over 600 is too much mile. Someone says getting quotes. Someone said in 30 likes per post. I don't understand what that means. Someone did that. All right. Just got approved for my LC, but I'm working on my personal credit before I do funding. Okay, that's another question. Good question you said that. So for Amazon Relay, you do not need good credit. There's no credit check involved, especially if you're going to rental route. The only time credit is needed is if you're actually going to purchase a truck. Then you would have to get funding to purchase a truck. But if you're going to rental route, you ain't even going to give them your social. So your credit is not needed. You can have bad credit. You don't need credit at all. Only thing you really need is a good driving record. So if you got a good driving record, that's good because it'll make your insurance go down. So when you hear me say these numbers of you can start your company for under $5,000, the only difference is your driving record. Your LLC is going to be what your LLC costs in your city. Your state, whatever it costs. Some of them are free, I've heard. Some is $100, some is $200 in Atlanta. Georgia's $100. I spent 200 because I got expedited. But let's just say whatever it is, that's what it is. If you go through my system, my program, my masterclass, by my ebook, it's $680. I was speaking to somebody, I don't know if they're on my live, man, somebody's about to charge them $1,500 to do their authority. Wow, that's crazy. So if you come through my person, they charge you $680, and that's to do your your DOT, your MC, your BOC3, your UCR the correct way. Because if you're YouTube University and you check the wrong box, your insurance gonna be higher, and you're gonna get rejected from Amazon. So pay that money, stop being cheap. All right. Now the next thing is your insurance down payment. That's the only thing that differs from person to person. Two people can have a good driving record. One person might have $1,300 to pay per month. Another person, they might want $2,600 down. They might want first and last, which means a lot of people hit me like, oh man, my insurance, they want $3,000 down. They want $3,000 down. Okay, they want $3,000 down, but how much do they want a month? $1,500. Well, then don't panic, because I always say that. First and last is based off your driving record. You might have to pay first and last. So you pay first and last, then you would pay 10 months of your monthly payment on your last payment. You don't make a payment. So it boils down to the same thing. Stop panicking. It's a first and last. So that's why I tell people to have $5,000. And then your rental is usually like $1,000, $1,100. You still in 2024, it's August, can start your logistics company for under $5,000. Now, if you're trying to YouTube University it, and you paid $1,500, let's just say you paid $200 for your LLC, and you went to somebody else online and you paid $1,500 for authority, you expensive. Now, let's just say you didn't go through my insurance person or my brokers. Now they want $5,000 down, $6,000 down. You be like, oh man, you can't start your company for $5,000, $6,000. No, you can't. You went through your way. My way, I can show you how to start it for under $5,000. Now, if you got a bad driving record, guess what? You can't start it for $5,000, but that's the only determining factor between this person and this person. So if you got DUIs, speeding tickets, you've been, got super speeders, then your insurance is going to be sky high. That's common sense is going to be high. If your regular personal driving insurance is high, then guess what? Box truck is going to be high too. Now, your rental company, they don't go off your driving record. They don't know anything about you. So your deposit should be $1,000. So I don't understand why people keep saying in 2024, you can't still start a company for under $5,000. When I do it, help people do it monthly, every single month. But I get tired of hecklers and people like that. So if y'all notice, I've been doing real good myself. I don't even argue with people no more. The little cappers, I used to, they used to get on my nerves. I used to go back and forth with them. But now I literally just block their ass and keep moving. What's up, Crystal? I see you on here. That's my publicist, Crystal. What's up? So yeah, I just blocked them now, man. I don't fuss with them. I don't fight with them. I just block them. You say something crazy, block, delete. Someone said, I'm a former CDL driver with an LLC. I need to get in the game. Come on, bro, get in the game. I can help you get in the game. I've helped thousands of people. And like I said, I'm one of the few people that still get on here and still do lives, answer questions for free. I still do my consultations for free. I'm the person in the masterclass answering your questions for free. I never think I'm going to get too big to be actually the person helping you guys. I still answer DMs, although I get 50 to 100 of them. Sometimes I get back with you. Sometimes I can't. So if you're trying to get me, book a consultation. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, $99, $149. So if you really want my time, like I said, sometimes I might get to your DM, sometimes I might not. There's no bad feelings. But I still get on here. I still give free game. I still be on YouTube. I try to give back as much as I possibly can. And I have real reviews. Like, I literally post my reviews. I have lives where the people that's doing stuff and they stuff ain't really working, they don't really do lives. They don't give a lot of reviews. Just remember that. I get on here, I do lives. It could be somebody in here, and every week, it's not a week that don't pass that somebody took my masterclass that's in my live, right? I post reviews every single week because guess what? I have real reviews. I've helped thousands of people do the same exact thing. Like, it's to the point where my name is in the stone. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I've helped people, thousands of people get up and running. So I don't even debate with people no more. If you say you can't do it, truck is dead, keep moving, go find you something else to do. But I'm past the point of trying to convince now, if that makes sense. Because I see, like, even now and then I go on YouTube and I see somebody use my name for clickbait. Oh, Box Truck Shorty didn't tell you this. Box Truck Shorty didn't tell you that. Guess what? I don't tell you nothing for free. So whatever you saying I don't tell you, I probably didn't tell you on live. I probably didn't tell you on a YouTube video. But if you join my masterclass, it's all doors open. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, the ins, the outs, every single thing how to be profitable. So I'm not going to give my whole masterclass for free on Instagram or on YouTube. So people just like to use clickbait, but I just ignore them too. Someone said, how many miles per gallon does a 26-foot box truck get? That's a good question. It depends. I've seen some get 9, 10, 11, 12 miles per gallon. It just depends on the box truck, if the box truck is loaded or if it's not loaded. But I can tell you, like, we covered that in class 2, like how to calculate your fuel, because every load that you book has a fuel surcharge in it from Amazon. How do you pay your drivers? I pay my drivers by a pay scale that's in my ebook. I kind of discussed that earlier. I'm going to post this live on my page. You can go back and read it. How much do you pay? All right, answer that question. So once again, it's day loads. Yeah, there's day loads. The reason why I don't do day loads is because traffic, gas, accidents, and you burn more fuel in the daytime. My drivers hate driving in the daytime. Have you ever been to Atlanta? Atlanta has some of the worst traffic, so it's like an hour to get from one side of Atlanta to the next side in a car. So with that being said, my box truck drivers, they don't like daytime driving. Now, we'll do it during peak season and during prime week, but other than that, we usually doing nighttime loads. Because you can get to where you're going, no traffic, less fuel. My drivers can get back home. They can take a nap. They can run around in the daytime if they need to. It's just like they still have a life. Remember, they're not sleeping in the truck. They're not spending the night in the truck. They get to be home in their bed in the morning. How do you get insurance if you don't own a truck and you're renting? Don't you need a VIN number? Yes, you do. But grab my ebook and I'll walk you through every single thing that you need. How to get it, a broker. Don't call the insurance company straight up, because if you do, they're going to knock your head off. That's why people, they think, oh, this is called Progressive or called National Indemnity. Guess what? You call them directly, you'll skyrocket. It's going to be a skyrocket price. Go through a broker who has a relationship with these companies that can get you a discounted rate. Everything is about networking and who you know. Information. Someone said, just need my insurance and my rental truck. Thanks for your videos. Thank you, bro. Someone said, you going out to Vegas to recon September? They called me to come. MU company one. No, I'm not. Yeah, I won't be in Vegas. And in September, I got a lot of other little stuff that I got going on down here. They told me $1,300 a month. Is that cool? Yeah. It's $1,300 a month for insurance is great, man. I paid $1,375 coming in the door. So your insurance is also based off the state you're in. If you're in Florida, you're in like Pennsylvania, you're in a place where you get a lot of hurricanes and stuff like that, then your insurance is a little high. But $1,300 is really good, bro. Like I said, I always say $1,300 to $1,500 is average. So $1,300 starting off is great. More, I paid $1,375 starting off. But yeah, that's a good deal. So you see, look, classic example. Somebody in here live. August, saying they got $1,300 a month. Why do people say, oh man, you can't get in the game, you got to pay $4,000, $5,000 to get started, and they want, $25,000, man, it's crazy. Somebody said, used to people do paper, and I use your people to do my authority. I got my authority. Okay, that's what's up. So it's done right. So once again, someone said, why people hate on Amazon saying they don't make money? Good question. If you go back and watch my live that I did last week, I explained the difference. Like what we did was we pulled up the actual load board, and people are still using the old school way. You know what I'm saying? So they're still looking at the load board in the middle of the day, like the DAT load board. When you look at the load board in the middle of the day, like the DAT load board, Amazon don't have loads sitting on the load in the middle of the day. They drop them at nighttime, and people use postal trucks. So if you go back and watch my video, but I'll give you a brief example real quick. So basically, if you have Atlanta, we got 300 and some carriers in Atlanta, right? If 200 people are using postal truck, then that's 200 loads that's never going to make it to the physical load board. So those loads you never see. So if you're judging something by what you see, how can you judge it when 200 loads ain't never making it to the load board? If you post your truck. So what I did was last week, I pulled up the spot load board. They had no loads paying even $500 in Atlanta. But then what I did was I flipped the screen around and I showed them the postal truck. You put in $3 a mile, $600, and it has a high probability. Everybody who's making money in Amazon Relay is using postal truck right now. All right. So with that being said, that's why idiots always say it ain't no money in Amazon. How, when Amazon is the largest last final mile in the United States right now. Amazon did $14 billion on Prime Day. Amazon is bigger and bigger and bigger everywhere. If you ever went to I'm not pretty sure you're not doing it, but if you go to an Amazon facility, why is there so many box trucks and semis? So these people are not working for Disney dollars or Monopoly money. They're working for real money. They got trucks outside. So Amazon is paying. It's just that the way they're looking at it is back when the pandemic was hitting. When I first started, nobody used postal truck. Everybody used to get on the load board and just book the loads. Postal truck was something that nobody used. So the way how loads are being booked has changed, not how much Amazon is paying. So that's why people now who go to YouTube University, they pull up the load board in the middle of the day. Hey, look, it's 5 o'clock. Look, it ain't nothing but loads paying $1, $2 a mile, $1. Yeah. Hey, they've been doing that since back in the day. So with that being said, if you're looking at the load board like that, then you're going to judge it by what you see and be like, it ain't no loads. But then I'm good for those people because they stay out of Amazon. But that's the difference. Whereas you look at the DAT load board, if you go look at the DAT load board is going to put all the loads that they have in Atlanta going out on the load board. They don't really use the postal truck features with the DAT load board like that. So that's the reason why when people say there ain't no money in Amazon, just like you see NY Finance, he been doing it for 6 years, way before me. My cousin, he done made some money doing it. My best friend. So there's always money in logistics. Logistics was not born during the pandemic. And a lot of people tell you that. People told me when I first started, man, there ain't no money in logistics. People told me no money in real estate. People will always tell you you can't do. But what are they doing? Working a 9 to 5. What are they doing? Nothing. So at the end of the day, never listen to somebody that tell you that you can't do something. If one person can do it, guess what? I can do it too. And that's just always been my mindset. The difference between those people and me is that the difference between the person you admire is that they ask for help. If you get the right mentor, anything is possible. And like I said, I don't even have a course, man. It's so simple. I don't have a course. Like people might have, I've never even taken nobody's course. But people might have a course like busy work information. My system is damn near idiot proof, fool proof, like whatever proof you can put it, it's this. If you are a newbie and you just started, you want to get in with Amazon, hey, if you don't know how to do an LLC, no problem. I got somebody who can do it for you. Hit this person. You don't know how to do an authority? I highly recommend you don't do it. Hit this person up. Boom. That person do your authority. That's 680. So whatever your LLC, 680 to get your authority, right? You don't know who to call for insurance. You don't know how to get it, how to word it. Cool. Call my broker. Boom. They'll get you your insurance, right? You don't know how to get your rental account discounted rate. Masterclass, get the ebook. We show you how to do that, right? So now you have everything set up. You got a company officially up and running. You got the LLC, you got the authority, you got the insurance, you got the truck. Now you just need the information. I'm going to give you the information. I'm going to show you how to book the loads, when to book loads, how to hire drivers, the compliance aspect of it, everything you need to know. From the tax accountant, we have it, everything that you need. So how can you lose? So just think about this. If I have, let's just say 100 people. If 100 people get the same information and 80 of them are successful and the other 20 ain't, you know what the difference is? The 20 didn't have grind. The 20 didn't have hustle. The 20 is just, they don't know how to pivot or figure things out. In business, you got to learn how to pivot. You got to learn how to figure things out. You see what I'm saying? You might have to you got to put a different kind of cheese on your burger. You know what I'm saying? You might like a different kind of sauce, but I'm giving you the information. My system, you can't mess up. The only thing that will mess up in the equation is you. You're not giving it your all. You're not putting the effort in. Like some people, believe it or not, you can give them everything and they want you to fix the plate. They want you to split the meat up. They want you to cut the meat off, steak off the bone. They want you to put it in their mouth. They want you to chew it. They want you to massage their throat to swallow it in order for them to say it works. That's just not how nothing works in this life, in the world. That's why you can have the same people go to the same exact school. One becomes successful, one don't. Is your grind. That's the only thing I can't put. If I could sell grind in a book or grind in a bottle or grind online, I will give it to you, but I can't. That's the only thing that's missing. So I can't make you have the grind. But what I can tell you is that all of the information I have works. You don't have to figure nothing out from the beginning to the end. If you don't know nothing about logistics, I can have you up and running and being successful in 30 days. You don't want to do Amazon? You don't want to do the DOT? That low boy? Fine, I'll find you somebody that you can work with, pair with, smooth transition. Like I said, go read my reviews. I got the most reviews. I'm the person that get online. I give the most information out for free. I respond back to people. I help people. I have masterclasses. I even have meet and greets where I had over 130 people that come. People that's not doing what they say they do, they ain't gonna have no meet and greet. Why would they have somebody come to a place that can catch them or catch them in a lie? You get what I'm saying? Or if it ain't working, y'all have 130 people show up and say, hey, this don't work, this don't work. Guess what? That's not the case. I had 130 people at the meet and greet while I'm walking around doing a live. Literally, guys say, hey, man, I made $350,000 my first year. Look, that's not no skit. That ain't, like, people will tell you, that's not no skit. That was a real lie. I don't even know this dude. Still don't know him. Like, you know, I knew him from the meeting him, but he went through my system and was doing really good with a truck. So it don't get no realer than that. It don't get no organic. And I ain't got no professional videographer. I'm not doing all of that. I'm just an organic person that documented my journey from the start till now. And that's what Box Truck Shorty is. And like I said, I don't even have no other way to put it. No other better way to put it. So if you're interested in getting in my class, I got the next masterclass is September 7th. You can get in it for $9.99. You can pay half now, pay the other half prior to class. If you're able to buy my ebook, it's $750. All you do is send me your info at Box Truck Shorty. Say I'll send an invoice for $750, or I can split it into 2 payments, or you can go on my website, boxtruckshorty.com, and get my VIP one-on-one masterclass, which is usually it's 3 hours long. It's me, you, and my business partner. It's a lot more condensed. A lot of people don't like crowds. They might be a high person, VIP person, and they don't want to deal with the long class. So that's why I have that VIP masterclass. Get in. That's $11.50 right now. Like I tell you, normally it's $12.50, but it's $11.50 right now. If you just want to get into it, grab my ebook. It's $199. It doesn't come with leasing on option, but it comes with all the steps to get yourself set up. And if you just short on money, hit me an email. I can get you in the class for $750. So those are my services. I offer 30 and 60-minute consultations if you're lost for whatever reason. 30 minutes is $99. The hour is $149. I have a 2-day and a 3-day driver training. 2 days, $350. 3-day is $400. Everything you need, I have. You need somebody to do something, book a consultation. I got you. And that's what's up. So I hope to see you guys at the top. I'm about to get off here. It's been nice. Y'all had some good questions tonight. What's up, Honcho? One of my day ones. What's up, bro? How you doing? It's one of my day ones. But level up, thank you. I'm glad you got that response. So yeah, stop listening to those people, man. Those people there's never a good time. Just launch the business and you can make it perfect. Like, there's never a good time. Everybody will convince you. If you listen to, like I said, if you listen to everybody, you ain't going to go nowhere, because everybody's going to tell you, oh, no, don't do that. Don't get in the truck. Don't go to real estate. Don't do stocks. It's wrong time. It's never a good time. Guess what? You just got to jump and do it. All right, so I'm out of here. See y'all later.